All
Hi.
right. That was just too funny. Sorry that took so long. First, it said,
Yeah,
you need to approve the microphone and camera since it's my first one.
I
So we went
I
back and forth.
know. Well, welcome to your first live. Hey,
Thank
Alex. Friend of
you.
mine
I'm
just
super
joined on.
excited.
Oh, Alex,
Super
you know what? I'm
excited.
gonna I'm gonna that's my friend Alex from Michigan. We
Hi,
will
Alex.
post this, obviously. We're gonna talk all about menopause. There's our girl Becky. Hi, Becky. I just sent her a text saying, get on, get on.
Nice.
All right,
That's
girl. We
awesome.
have menopause stuff to talk about. You had an appointment where
Yes.
you first of all, Angie is together. We would blow the pop stand, blow the top off all this menopause shit with
Yes.
advocating for ourselves, demanding care, demanding the right amount, the right dose,
100%.
all that stuff. So let's hear
Yes.
about you and what you
Yeah.
have going on right now.
100%, 100%. I mean, I
Yeah.
had to reach out to you this morning.
Yeah.
I share this with you, but I want to share it with everyone else why we're here today because I was literally driving my 16-year-old son to high school this morning. And I had my appointment with my menopause clinician yesterday, and I literally just puked out everything menopause for almost the whole drive. And I'm like, and this happened, and we'll talk about all of it. But all of a sudden I
Yeah.
realized, okay, he doesn't probably want to hear it, but he was great. He was supportive. But I'm like, okay, you tell me about you. And then after I left, dropped him off, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I got to talk to Heather. We got to talk menopause. And so part of the reason why I want to talk about this is because I did have my appointment yesterday. And so just a little backstory.
Yeah.
I probably last 2 years were kind of tough for me. Figured it out, did a whole ton of research, got myself feeling better, through multiple doctors.
Yeah.
And one of my problematic symptoms was a chronic cough that I had for
Yeah.
8 years. And when I finally got my hormones optimized, all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I'm not coughing. I literally would cough hours every morning. And
That's
and I'm like, oh
crazy.
my God, I'm feeling better. So then last October, had a hysterectomy, cough came back within 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh my God, it's totally estrogen deficiency, right? And so I had an
Can I ask you a
appointment.
question? Let me ask you a question
Yes,
about that. So did
100%.
they took you off your estrogen first?
They did not.
They
They
did
did not.
not.
Yeah, they did not. The only thing they took me off were
Interesting.
my GLP-1s, right? So
Okay.
they had me go off those before surgery,
Yep.
but I stayed on my patch and I had a conversation with my surgeon beforehand. Here's the
Okay.
thing I wish I would have done for anybody out there getting a hysterectomy who's in
Mm-hmm.
menopause. I've already
Mm-hmm.
been through perimenopause. Right? I was in menopause,
Mm-hmm.
so my hormones were stable and I had figured them all
Yeah.
out with my HRT, I'm estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, vaginal estrogen. I'm on all of it.
Yep.
I wish I would have done my labs before my hysterectomy to know
Yeah.
what my levels of normal were,
Right.
because post hysterectomy, I didn't know what normal was for me. And so my
Right.
challenge was my clinician wasn't really 100% addressing my
Yeah.
symptoms, which should be the case. So that was my frustration. We took 6 months to get me back to normal, to not coughing. It was
Well,
way
and
too long.
let's talk about the distinction then, though,
Yeah.
between normal and optimized, because
Yes.
you started out the conversation, my dear, today,
Yes.
right now,
Did I say
saying
normal?
you said in the beginning, you said you had them optimized, and now you're
Oh,
speaking using the word
oh.
normal. So,
Yeah, you're right.
ladies, normal isn't
Yes.
always like, if normal in a numbers game and you're
Yeah.
still not feeling well, let's say that your
Right.
numbers were normal, but you
Right.
still had a cough. So then
Yeah.
your hormones are not optimized,
Yes.
right? And
Absolutely. You are so right.
we want everything to be optimal,
Yep.
not normal, because normal
Oh my
doesn't
gosh.
always feel good.
Right.
Normal might
Right.
just be like, oh, my hot flashes are gone, but I got all this
Right.
other stuff going on.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, just want to make that distinction.
100% right. And
Yeah.
language matters, right?
Yep.
Language absolutely matters. And I think one of the key points I want to talk about is that one of the ahas I had around this is my menopause clinician, right? I mean, she worked with me, but we
Hmm.
negotiated more than I would have wanted to. And one of the realizations I think is that she's younger. I'm
Yeah.
guessing maybe she's 30, right?
Wow.
And probably doing her best. But I think the challenge we're sitting in society is that those who haven't gone through this don't realize
Yeah.
how awful it is, right?
Yeah.
And because the chronic cough isn't a traditional symptom, I think that was part of it too. Well, is
Hmm.
it really that, right? And it was being
Mm.
questioned and challenged, so that's part of the struggle too. So and the other thing
Yeah.
I literally shot at my son as we were driving. I'm like, and here's the other thing, right? I'm like, the thing I'm realizing is this is the first time in history that we have women in their 40s, 50s,
Yeah.
60s as physicians experiencing perimenopause and menopause symptoms going, wait, that story I was taught, these whiny women that a lot of these doctors talk about,
Yes.
it's not
Yes.
true, right? I mean, in history, right? If you go
Yeah.
back 30 years to when these doctors were going through med school, 40, whatever the timing is, right, that they were going through med school, it's the first time that we've got all these women advocating for themselves and
That's
hence
right.
advocating for us. So those women who haven't been there yet or experienced it, the question is, how do we teach them, right? That it, I mean,
Right.
because I think there's that fear, right? And that was the
Mm-hmm.
pushback I got with my clinician
Yep.
over these 6 months to increase my dose, right? She's like, well, we
Mm-hmm.
did increase it. I'm like, yeah, but we didn't increase it at the rate that I needed. I was miserable
Right.
for 6 months and it could have been shorter, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the fear was, and this this is bothersome. The fear was
Yeah.
blood clots,
Yeah, which
right?
is not
And
true.
like
Anyone
it's
who's
not
listening to
true,
this, if you do
right?
not have, not with the patch or the gel or the spray, the
Right,
only time that there's a chance of blood clots is with
right.
the oral because it
The
has to go
oral.
through your liver.
Yep.
So if you have a history of any sort of blood clot, fine, you just don't take the oral.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And so that was, and the thing was, is there was, so she took my blood, she drew my blood,
Hmm.
multiple times over those 6 months, and she checked my
Yeah.
labs and appointment after appointment, right? I'm meeting like every, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks over the
Yeah.
6 months plus blood work. I mean, I spent, probably close to $1,000 in appointments, right? With
Yeah.
copays and everything like that. But anyway, it's just, you kind of look at that and go, I had one appointment, one out of those
Yeah.
6 months where my lab work said, I think it was 130, my estrogen, right? So
Okay.
she got
Yeah.
nervous around that
Right.
and
Right.
decided,
But it's
I
like,
need to talk to my leadership team. And it's like, is that really bad?
but what, 130 when we're
Right.
pregnant, those
I
numbers
know.
are
It's
like
like,
at 5,000. And
right. And that's what
why
I
is
said
it
to her.
what
Yes.
so and what I'm sure she couldn't answer. Well, why is that bad? What
Right.
does that
Why
number
is
mean?
that bad? And
Oh,
that was the
guess
thing
who's
I said
on?
to her.
Dr. Dunn's on. We
Dr.
should invite
Dunn.
Dr. Dunn. You can join in if you want. I'm going to see her in a little bit. I'm so excited.
Yeah, and that was the
So,
challenge, right? It's
yeah,
like, what is the risk? Blood clots is the risk. This, and she said she had to
yeah.
take it to her leadership team to talk about. And I'm like, I get that, but I'm willing to take that risk, right? Just put me
Hmm.
on a higher dose for a couple months to see if I feel better, right? Can we
Yeah,
just try it? Because it's that, it's having that nuanced conversation with
yeah,
your doctor, your clinician, your provider, right? I mean, and working through what works for you. And I think that was my struggle, is that I felt like I wasn't really getting that feedback, right? I
yeah.
wasn't getting that support. So what I want to do is I want to talk to my clinicians, organization, and just say, how do we help women? Because how many other women are like me, right?
Right.
That have been struggling for 6 months, that where I didn't advocate for myself.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yay, Dr.
I
We
Dunn.
I missed the beginning, but I saw your video.
we
So
Yes,
have a
about
surprise
give me
guest. I'm so excited.
give me details. Give me the
so
details.
my quick background, I had a 8-year chronic cough, got
Okay.
my hormones optimized a year and a half ago, cough went away. And I'm like, oh my God, it's amazing, right? Had my hysterectomy last year, and then the cough came back. And I spent 6 months negotiating with my clinician to increase my dose. And it was a little bit and a
Great.
little bit and a little bit all the time. And so finally, after getting, and I'm on a higher dose, I get it. I'm on a zero point 0.1 patch and a 0.075 patch, right? So I'm on both of them.
Right.
But once I did, within a week and a half, I'm like, oh, I'm not coughing for hours every morning. I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just give it like it seems
Yeah.
small, right? It's just a cough, but every morning it was exhausting.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's kind of the challenge. It's like, how do we educate clinicians to
Mhm.
really listen and have that conversation?
Yeah.
Because is there a risk? You
I mean,
know,
but there's no studies. Did you
right?
get
Mhm.
checked? Did they check your levels?
They checked my levels like probably 5 times in those 6 months. And at
Okay. So
one point, my levels were at 130. And so she got super nervous and took it to her leadership team. And like, I'm like, can't we just try me at a higher dose to feel
I
better?
wouldn't.
And
I wouldn't all over that. Yeah. If you're
yeah,
feeling better,
yeah,
I would say all she has to do is document. She understands that there's really, her levels higher than what is considered normal for menopause hormonal treatment. She understands
yeah,
the risk, that there's
yeah,
really no data that
yeah,
shows that it's safe, but
yeah,
she is willing to accept those risks and
right,
she feels better at this level,
right,
so because there's
Well,
no
yeah,
data
and
either, but we do worry that we're causing harm. So you just have to
Right.
document that.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the struggle, though. It's like what I mentioned to Heather earlier is that I think there's a component of younger doctors, because I'm guessing she's around 30-ish. And
Mm-hmm.
so for those of us who, and physicians, I was saying this too, it's like, I think we're in the first time in history where we have women in their 40s, 50s, 60s who are physicians advocating for themselves because they're going
Right.
through it. We've never
Right.
had a mass number of female physicians in history. It's
Yeah.
our first time. So it's pretty amazing. But so
Yeah.
how do we get those younger doctors to really like trust and support the patient?
Yeah.
Because to your point, the data's not there, right?
Data,
That's the
the data's
yeah,
not there that it's safe, and the data's not there that it's harmful either.
right.
So
Right.
that's
Right.
the thing. Like,
Yes.
so what are you believe? Your patient's saying that she feels better and this chronic cough went away, and
Yeah.
and people have symptoms. So yeah,
Yeah.
I have 2.1 patches on because the
Oh,
generic stopped working. So I'm like,
I saw your post about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
of it. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna wear two of them, and
Right.
because I can't find anything anyway. So
Right.
I'm like, so let me
Yeah.
just slap two of them on. So yeah.
Oh, I wish I could do that. If I lived in Brazil, I could. I was in Brazil in February, and you don't need a prescription for this stuff. I'm like, oh, I could just go handle my own
I
things.
Well, that's what we need to do. We need to fly
Right.
somewhere. And Heather, we need to. You know what? I have a business idea for you guys.
Yeah.
It's the hormone patch exchange program. Like
the black market.
it's like the Goodwill of estrogen.
Yes.
Let's
100%.
open a midlife Goodwill. And we can all
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
And hey,
go.
I have a bunch of gel that's just sitting
There
there, and if it's not absorbing,
you
I am more than happy for $5.
Yes,
I will pick up the tab
yes,
to send anyone my gel that needs it.
yes,
I
yes,
am here to help a
yes,
woman in need.
exactly.
Right? Because we don't have to
Yes.
All right.
suffer. Yes.
I got
Thank
to
you.
go see another patient. And Heather, I'll see
Okay.
you later.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye.
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 Thanks. Bye.
Oh, she's so
Okay.
amazing.
I know she is.
Oh, I lost you. Are we
Just
still there?
happened. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, there we are.
Sorry. I had
Nope.
to, I was trying to click off of something.
You're
Yeah.
all good. You're all good. And I just have to
So
say, I'm excited to share that Dr. Dunn will be joining my Empowering Women in Midlife community on May 7th. She's coming to
I
speak.
know.
Yay. So if you're
Yeah.
interested, go check out my bio. There's a link you can join. Oh, so excited.
Yes.
She's just a
And
rock star.
I know. And I am thrilled that she is now officially my new menopause doc. And I
Oh,
have
yay,
my first
you. I wish I
appointment
lived in
with
Chicago.
I know. I had my first virtual appointment with her today, and I
Oh,
am absolutely just thrilled
yeah.
because she's doing it right.
Yeah.
She is the one who is saying, but if she feels better, then why
Yes.
not?
She said
And
all of that's what we want to hear, right?
that is absolutely what we want to hear. I don't care if you have to, I was actually going to do a funny reel. I was thinking about what if all of my medications were patches, what if nothing had to go through my liver and I was going to cover myself in Band-Aids and
Oh, that's
show
hilarious.
the
That's
amount
pretty
of
good.
supplements and stuff. I'm like, I'm okay walking around with patches. I'm
Right.
okay. Because if
I
I don't
have
have
no
to keep
problem
shoving
either.
all this shit in my mouth,
Right?
okay with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. And again,
Yeah.
here's the problem is that you are wasting so much. First of all, you're wasting so much time as a
Yes.
doctor, right?
Right?
Your
Yes.
time when you could be spending
Right.
with someone else. And, instead of calling in the higher ups, what you should be doing is
Yes.
going to the higher ups and saying, I need to take Dr. Rachel Rubin's clinic. I need to take
Right.
Dr. Heather Hirsch's, whoever
Yes.
else out there has training.
Yep.
That doctor should be taking the training. If she doesn't know what
Yes.
she's doing and has to call in other
Right.
people who probably also don't know what they're doing, then
Right.
it would be beneficial for that clinic to whoever she works for to have her
Right.
trained. You're just
Yep.
wasting everybody's time. You
Yes.
don't need to go to 5 bazillion doctors to find out what the cough is. You
Right.
know that the
Right.
hormones help your cough.
Right. It's like,
Listen
yeah, of course, let's try
to
that.
the patient.
Yes.
Listen, we are not whiny. We are telling you what works. If you want us
Yep.
to stop whining, then give us what we
Yes.
want.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
that's what
100%.
that's what it comes down to.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
it's amazing. Now, are you having a hard time getting patches where you are?
I am not. I am super
That's good.
lucky, and I'm going to give a shout out to my pharmacy. It's called Pharmamia in Dove Canyon,
Mm-hmm.
California. Sarah has been a rock star in coordinating and
Amazing.
negotiating and working with her suppliers to get that. So fingers crossed. I've not had any
Yeah.
issues. And I'll be honest, when we did go to Brazil, I bought a couple of boxes of
I
everything.
know. I'm
Had I
so mad at
known,
you that you didn't buy
right?
like 5 cases.
I know. Had I known that there was going to be a shortage issue, I would have bought
Oh my
cases of it. It
God.
says, oh my God. Right now, I just probably have, because they came in. So Brazil sold them a little differently. Right here, we get,
Yeah.
at least my patches come in a box for a month, right? Theirs come in
Yes.
a box for
Yeah.
3 months. So I bought
Oh,
a box
wow.
of, yeah, I bought a box of both my
Okay.
point. Well, I bought .1 and .5 because at the time I was still on
Okay.
.5, right?
Right.
She hadn't upped me yet. So now that's a bit of a bummer, but
Now you're going
I
to have
could,
5 patches.
right. I'll like cut them in half and, quarters or whatever, or I'll just put two on like Dr. Dunn does, right? See if
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
2.1 patches make a difference. But,
Yeah.
well, because
Yeah.
here's another new thing that just started about a week or so ago. I might, I think I might be having night sweats. Not terrible, but I'm waking up in the
Oh.
middle of the night, like a little sweaty, not like terrible. Like, I think, did you and I talk?
Mm-hmm.
You had that? Like were you the one
Oh,
of the ones
I
that I talked
was,
with? Like you were
yeah,
changing your sheets in the middle of the night or something?
oh, yes. And my husband woke up and said, "Did you do laundry in the middle of the night?" I'm like, "No, why?" He's like, "What is that pile of wet,
Wow.
soaking stuff in the corner?" I
Right.
was like, "Oh, those are my pajamas that I sweat through."
Isn't that so crazy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
much
So
sweat.
just the last week or
Hmm.
two, and I'm going, well, that can't be because now I'm on a higher dose. How can I now have another new symptom at this point? Right. So I don't know. Maybe I will take one of those Brazilian patches and put another extra quarter on or something. Jeez.
See if
It's a
it works. And
process.
I feel like here's another thing. I wish Dr. Dunn were here to talk about this, but here's the deal. Between Angie and me, we're not doctors, we're not
We're not
PAs, we're
doctors.
not
Yes. Thank you
NPs,
for
we are
pointing that
not
out.
menopause specialists, but we have done our
Yeah.
research.
Yeah.
And what we know is what is fact from actual doctors out there. So that's what
Yeah.
Angie and I talk about, our lived experience, but then we also give you
Yeah.
facts, actual facts. I mean, there are papers supporting everything that comes out of our mouths because this is
Yeah.
what we heard from the doctors talking about it.
And we read a ton of this stuff,
Oh my God. Like
right?
the amount of research I've
PubMed. How
done
many times
over
have
the,
we gone to PubMed, right?
oh my God, and years and years and years
Yes.
of talking and
Yep.
researching. So here's
Yep.
the deal. So many women think that when you hit that last period, which is, by the way, is arbitrary. You
Right.
don't need to
Just
wait. I heard Drew Barrymore talking about how she was at 11 months, got her period, so it took
yeah.
her back. I'm like, what the fuck are you waiting for?
Right.
Who cares?
Go on it. Right.
What are you waiting to start
Yeah.
hormones to your
Right.
last period? If you
Yeah.
went 11 months, girl, you're pretty much done. Like,
Right.
come
Yep.
on now. We don't need to wait for our
Manage the
last period.
symptoms. We don't have to
Yes,
suffer.
yes. And literally, there are doctors out there saying, if once you hit that magical last day, life
Yeah.
will be good and things will get better. That's
Yeah.
bullshit. There is a
Bullshit.
woman, I have heard story after story after story after story, 60, 70, 80. There was an 80-year-old woman who was still having several hot flashes a day. Just
Yeah.
because you don't have your
Yeah.
period anymore doesn't mean that your body is fluctuating
Yep.
all over the place. You need to
Right.
be optimized. And hopefully that means absolutely progesterone and estrogen go together, but then
Yep.
hopefully testosterone too. Like
Yep.
we're just going to
Yep.
continue to fluctuate, right? And a
Yep.
lot of it also has to do with our central nervous system and things going on in our lives. So, and
Yep.
that's going to make us fluctuate in our hormones as well. So,
Yep. Absolutely.
there's
Absolutely.
no magical, everything's just going to stop and things are going to get better.
Right.
Plus, I think did you text me? I can't remember. Maybe I texted you about my DEXA scan.
Yes. Yes. You have been rocking it. Yes. You have
I don't
absolutely been rocking
remember.
it.
I do not remember having a DEXA scan in 2016, probably because I was like drunk at the doctor because that's when I was in my full addiction mode. So not surprised. But the fact that it's better now,
Yeah.
I've been on HRT for the last 2.5 years. It
Yeah.
cannot just be contributed to HRT. It
Yeah.
is absolutely, I've
Yes.
been working out with Amy Johnston
Hmm.
Fitness, one of my best friends, for
Yep.
6 years.
Yep.
Hard. So
Yes.
it is not just the
Yes.
hormones. We
And
have,
for
we
those of
have to
you
do
out
it
there,
all.
if you haven't seen it, go check out some of Heather's videos. She's a rock star out there
Thank
and
you.
doing all the work, and like she's got the guns to prove it.
I do.
Yes, look at that. Love
I'm
it.
little, but I have the muscles. So that's just, it's just everything just works together. And
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you and I I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to be healthy.
Yes.
I'm on a mission to just you know, and I'm in a mission to educate other people. Anyway,
Yep. Yep.
what else do we want to say about the patches? I actually did tell someone today I would send them my gel.
Did
If she
you?
messes,
Oh,
yeah, if
you're
she
so
messages,
awesome.
yeah, I think I have a
Yeah.
box or two. Like if she
Yeah.
messages me back, because if
Yeah.
it's not absorbing, then I
Right.
mean, I could keep it on hand, but if legit my body's
Yeah.
just not